pictures right. I would like to encourage our Scottsdale veterans, anyone who lives or has lived in Scottsdale, to learn more about our Scottsdale Civic program, which we honor veterans in our community each year. We have information.
That's a hard act to follow, I'll tell you. I want to express my appreciation to the Commission for inviting me here to visit, and I thank you for honoring me by attending. I want, first of all, to recognize a couple of other veterans that are my guests, and I want them to become exposed to the veterans here in this group because of their special capabilities, their talents, and their history. If I would ask Oscar Arrea to stand up, please. He's the one veteran that I want to recognize first very quickly. Oscar is a Vietnam veteran. He was wounded in Vietnam during the war. He received the Silver Star, and he is now in the Arizona Hall of Fame, Military Hall of Fame. And Oscar is a very talented person. He is a renowned sculptor and painter. So, and I'm talking about, you know, he's not cheap, in other words. He does painting. There's a lot of his work throughout the valley, in Sun City and in Sacaton. And so if you need someone to put a picture together for you, he's the one to do it. He has several books that he's published, and if you're interested in him, most of the time he gives his books away. He's just that generous. So, thank you very much, Yogi. We're doing good. Just yell at me if you have to, and let me know that you want to talk to me. Now, how did I get here? Well, I'm here talking to you because of someone heard something somewhere, and they thought it'd be interesting for me to step forward and let you know that I was a pilot with Ed Freeman in the Ia Drang Valley, and someone took note of that. They say, we'd like to hear what you did. Can you tell us about your career? It's not very exciting. I mean, it's just typical career. I went in as an enlisted man in 1957. I served for 3 years. At that time, I served with the 101st Airborne Division, and like it was mentioned, I went to Little Rock, Arkansas in 1958 when the Central High School was integrated for the first time by Dwight D. Eisenhower. And, excuse me, I put in for flight school in 64. I got accepted, and then I joined the 11th Air Assault Division that was running tests to figure out how they were going to move troops in a high-intensity battlefield, and they came up with the 1st Cavalry Division. In case you didn't know, I've got 1st Team here with me, and I think that's the only outfit that was in the war, wasn't it? Anyway, it's just a joke. I know. So, anyway, I served, like I said, 5 years as an enlisted man, 2 years as a warrant officer, and I received a battlefield commission in 1966, just before I came back from Vietnam. I'm talking about the fallen. Let me give you one thing that happened that a lot of people don't know about. A helicopter by the tail number 808, that's a UH-1D, took off from our base camp one day in 1964 and never returned. It had aboard 2 of my classmates, and we never found out how they got lost, but we did find them 40 years later. So they did recover the crew. The family is Shirley Hawes, lives in Nebraska. Her brother was a crew chief on that aircraft. And that woman never gave up. She was always there. She called me after, I think, 20 years or so. She found out I'd been in the same unit, asked me if I could help in any way. I joined her, and together with the JPAC teams that were searching for them in Vietnam, we came up with a possible location. And sure enough, when they went in and looking for it. They talked to a villager who said that yes, he knew who had shot that aircraft down, that it was hovering at treetop level or passing over at treetop level. He got a bead on it and brought it down, and they found the remains at the base of a outcropping of rocks close by. So that's, I wanted to mention those because that four of the fallen, we are all often forgetting. Now, my career itself, I was born in Houston, Arizona. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of this. And the 82nd Airborne Division, and took them to reinforce the government to get these people out of them. And so after that was done, I came back from the Dominican Republic 3 months later, 3 weeks later. I was on a boat going to Vietnam with the first guy over here. I'll be available to ask questions or answer questions if you have anything that you want to know about me. Like I say, I'll be glad to talk to anybody about it. I don't know that I have anything that I've missed that you need to know or even discuss. But the thing is, one of the things that, you know that Bruce Crandall received the Medal of Honor.
A little bit, maybe, Frank, if that's okay? Yeah. To have Elvis share a little bit more in detail, because I know that it can be difficult, if you don't mind.
Frank's embarrassing me a little bit today. He's a little, I shouldn't say little, he's extremely humble. He did a heck of a lot more than he said. If any of you saw the movie, We Were Soldiers Once and Young, when Colonel Moore put his troops in, he had about 300 troops on the ground. Frank and 16 helicopters took in 4 loads of troops and dropped them off in the Ia Drang Valley. On the 5th run, all hell broke loose, and they all got shot up really bad. The helicopters get shot up, guys were getting killed on the helicopter. They flew out, and Colonel Moore closed the LZ. It was too hot. And the battle just was terrible. He thought there was maybe 1,600 enemy on that mountain. There were 3 divisions. There were over 3,000, 2,000 North Vietnamese and 1,000 VC. And they were coming off that mountain just pouring off like ants, attacking these men. They sent them back to their base to stand by. And after about 2 or 3 hours, Colonel Moore realized that he was going to run out of ammunition and he was going to be overrun. Now, I was the 7th of the 1st Air Cav. They were the 1st of the 7th, which is the same as Custer's battlefield. So it was getting to be like, this was going to be just like Custer. All these men were going to die right there because they were going to run out of ammunition, had no food, running out of water, it was hot, it was miserable. He called Bruce Crandall. Bruce Crandall's in a nursing home right over there, assisted living home in Tempe. He was the commander of that helicopter group that he was with, and he said, I need to bring some ammunition and water and food in here, and I've got people dying at my feet that need to be evacuated out, and I've called for medevac.
So today we go to the Downtown Scottsdale and celebration Vietnam veteran here, okay? And we very honor you, and then we very proud of you and very grateful you do for the country. Yogi, and what's your name, sir?
John?
John, he the pilot.
I was nobody, but I just my ear. And I'm only a good guy because my wife keeps me in line. Yeah, I understand.
You talk about when you were in Vietnam.
Over there,
yeah.
I guess.
Bitburg, Germany, Trier, Germany, and Karat, Tockley, TW, what am I trying to say?
I know, TDY, yeah. He's Air Force, honey.
Okay.
Air
But he's
Force,
out in
that's
Germany.
it.
They flew a lot of people in from Europe to Vietnam.
Okay. So how many years you in Vietnam?
How many what?
How many?
years?
6.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Whoa. I was 1 year.
6 years.
6 years.
From which year, sir? From what year to year?
I say what?
From what year?
years were those 6 about?
73, 63, 60. I just turned 90 years old, so I'm slow.
I'm 80 next month.
Slow a little bit.
Wow. God blessing you. You're 90 years old. You look great.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
And here, for you, when you get ready for it, you get a watch, you get a deal you can't refuse. I own the Clock Doctor.
Oh, do you?
Down on Shea and Scottsdale Road.
Right, good location, yeah.
Right across from Handlebar G.